you need to go in with that mentality of like, there is no other options. You need to do these things. It needs to be that important to you. Hello and welcome to the Be Relentless Podcast. I am Relentless Coach Jake. Now, today is nice and quick. I want to get this to you as quickly as I can because there's a question that comes up all the time that I hear day in, day out of coaching and that I help people with and help them achieve this. And it's something that I've done myself. So all I'm going to do is share something that I've done, that I've implemented, and hopefully that can help you. So the question is, and it's really the biggest thing when it comes to people getting results and what they want out of their training, out of life. And that is like, how do you stay motivated? How do you stay accountable? That question comes up all the time. And it's something that I've dealt with personally. I think everybody has. And we always seem to fall off track or end up beating ourselves up because we haven't stuck to what we said we were going to do. And this happens day in and day out. And it's really the biggest reason as to why people don't achieve what they want to achieve. So how do we stay motivated? How do we stay on track? How was I able to go from running 0Ks to 100? How was I able to, live out a childhood dream despite having all the odds against me? How was I able to overcome that? How was I able to sort of risk everything on the line, having a young family, and step out and create and launch my own business? Like how was I able to stay consistent with that? And with every training goal that I have, it has always come down to this one thing: being accountable. It really comes from within. Now, it's great to have external sources. Like, it's great to have a coach. I have to have coaches that I check in, people that check in. I have to have lists that I cross off. Like, there's so many external things that you should have, but it really comes down to within and you making the decision. It's the decision. Because I want you to think about it like this. Okay, let's say you want to lose, 5 kilos, or you want to lose 10 centimeters from your waistline. You want to run a half marathon, whatever your goal is. So many people will do it for the first 2 or 3 weeks when they're motivated, and then it drops off completely. And I see that all the time with personal training, strength and conditioning. Someone's super motivated, ready to get started. They come in, guns blazing, and they're all in for 2 to 3 weeks. And then it goes away. Because when you're motivated, look, it's easy. When you're motivated, it is easy. But the motivation, that's just like a bit of like kindling on the fire. Okay? You can't rely on that because that's not going to keep your fire burning all through the night. That's going to get it started. Motivation will get you started. And look, it's good to have motivation here and there. You will need it on days where you don't want to do things. And that's definitely going to happen 100% of the time. It's going to happen. There's going to be days where you don't want to do things. You don't want to get up. You don't want to go to the gym. You don't want to do the steps needed to achieve what you want to achieve. It's going to happen. And what people feel is like when they get motivated, they're excited to do it and they'll do what's required because of that motivation. But then little things come in like everyday stress of life, living, whatever's going on with your family. You might have had an argument with your partner. Kids are crazy. I have a 5-year-old and a 3-year-old, and it's insane, but it's the best thing ever. But it can get hectic. You might not get sleep. You might be sick. You might, there's so many different things. Something's going to happen in your life at some point. We're all going to experience something different, but something will happen, and that will try and derail you from your goals. It's not always going to be pretty and perfect. And so many people wait for that perfect timing to do things. And I've done that in the past. I've tried to wait for the perfect time to do things, and it's cost me a lot of opportunities. But I'd rather get started when the times are so bad that it's only up from there. It comes down to a decision. You can't rely on motivation alone. Okay? It comes down to a decision. I want you to sort of rewire your thinking and think of it like this. Okay? Let's say your goal is to lose 10 centimeters off your waistline, and whatever that means to you, how that's going to impact your life, how that's going to change, the way you feel about yourself, how you're going to act, how it's going to improve your confidence, what it's going to do for your life. Is that going to give you more confidence and you're able to go for that promotion, or you're able to, ask that person out, like whatever your goals are, like they're going to hopefully positively impact your life in all other areas. You have to rewire your thinking to think of there is no other option. And that's how, honestly, I've gotten through any long run. Like, I'm not a runner. I use running for a tool to like strengthen my mind. And, I have a lot of respect for runners because it's just, and in the past, look, I never did. Like, I was a, professional wrestler for 12, 13 years, and everything was just explosive. And I was just really into power and speed and, trying to put on as much muscle as possible, all that sort of stuff. So like any endurance stuff, I was quite, I didn't really have much respect for it. I hadn't experienced anything like that. I was like, oh, all you do is run, until I started where I needed a challenge. And so I thought, okay, well, I hate endurance stuff. Let's start running. So I started running, and it changed my freaking life. And how I was able to go from, running 0Ks ever to over 100 and completing, multiple ultra marathons was a decision of there is no other option. And that's the way you have to look at it. Okay? I'm going to give you two things today. That's the first one, is a decision. I want you to think about a time where you've had your car broke down, okay, and you need to get something fixed. And you had to do it because if you didn't do it, you wouldn't be able to go to work. You wouldn't be able to drive your kids to school, okay? Or maybe it was something with your kids. Maybe your kids needed something. I hope not, but maybe they had some sort of medical emergency and you had to pay X amount, or you had to get this one thing. You would not stop until you freaking got it. You would not stop. I guarantee it. Knowing that as a parent, I know you would not stop until you got that thing you needed. That's the way you need to look at your life, your goals, and what you want to achieve. You need to look at it as like there is no other option. Okay, money is like a huge motivator for people, okay? Let's say, okay, to lose your 10 centimeters around your waist, or your 5 kilos, whatever it is, I said you had to walk 4 times a week, and you had to follow this diet, okay? A, B, C on this diet. That's all you had to do, okay? Majority of the people do that, why they're motivated, and then it'll go away. Okay, you'll have all that stress come in of your life, you won't sleep, something will happen, and you'll just throw it out the window. It happens. What if I said to you, you had to do these two things. You had to follow this diet, and you had to walk 4 times a week for 20 minutes. And you're going to do that for 8 weeks. And at the end of that 8 weeks, I was going to give you $5 million. You'd do it, right? Okay, so that goal has to be, the outcome of that goal has to be as important as receiving that $5 million. Like, how important is that goal to you? It's why you need to have a strong why. You can't just say, I'm going to do this one thing just for the sake of doing it. You need to have a why, a reason. That's going to get you to push through and to stay accountable and to achieve what you want to achieve. You have to change your thinking on it. You have to act as if there is no other option. Okay, look, you can get like really dark with this as well. You can be like, all right, if I don't achieve these things, if I don't do these things, then my kids will get sick, or like my partner will, whatever, something. I don't want to get too dark on this podcast. I don't want to say like, oh, your partner's going to pass away if you don't do these 2 things. But like, you need to go in with that mentality of like, there is no other options. You need to do these things. It needs to be that important to you. That's how it works. You have to have no other option. That's how you're going to stay accountable. And yes, you need external resources. You need to have positive people in your life that's not going to put their fears, their concerns on your goals. Okay? People will do that to you, so you've got to be really careful of who you surround yourself with. Okay, who's in your circle, because people will put their own fears and insecurities on you. That will happen, and that will play in your mind, and you need to have a strong mind. That little voice in your mind, it needs to be positive. It needs to say that there is no other option. This is what must be done. And having positive people around you is a huge thing that's going to help influence that. Act as if there's no decision. Have positive people around you. I'll give you another one. Okay? Habits over motivation. For me now, working out, running, and doing all the things that I know I need to do because I want this outcome, I'm not motivated to do that ever. I'm not motivated. But I do it because it's a habit now. It's just what I do. It's like getting up and brushing your teeth in the morning. I guarantee, maybe unless you got like a brand new crazy high-tech toothbrush and this amazing tasting toothpaste, you might be motivated for about 30 seconds to get up and be like, I'm going to brush my teeth today. I'm super excited to get after and brush my teeth. I'm going to get up at 5 a.m. and go brush my teeth. Chances are, majority of you are not excited to get up and brush your teeth, but it's what you do. You brush your teeth, you shower. It's just something you do each and every day. So you make working out and eating right part of your day. It's what you do. They're the keys to being accountable. Like I said, having a positive influence, a positive circle of people around you, having a coach you can check in, all those things are great and they help so much. But it comes down to you deciding. I've had clients that have trained with me for 5+ years, and I've constantly just tried to drill the message over and over and over and over and over again. And no matter what I say, they might get a little bit of motivation here and there. They might watch a video, they might read a book. There might be something that will trigger a little bit of motivation and get them on a roll for a few weeks, but then they end up just falling back. And I've had that happen for years and years and years. And I'm thinking, what is wrong? Why can't I get through to this person? And then one day they'll just flip that switch and they come in and they absolutely dominate it and crush it. Because it came down to them. It came down to within that they needed to make that decision. That's what happens. That's how it works. That's how you be relentless. That's how you get after it. That's all we've got today. I hope that helped a lot. Please follow me along at Be Relentless Gym or at Relentless Coach Jake. Please subscribe to this video, or if you're listening to it on Spotify, please leave a review. It will be very much appreciated. But I hope that helped. Now go get after it, be relentless, and absolutely dominate. Let's go.